show reminded me of this. Just figuring out or finding out that she's a unicorn, but um, in Oblivion, there's a reference of the last unicorn, and it's actually a little quest you do, and somewhere in Tamriel, the open world, you encounter this unicorn. It's a literal unicorn, and it's just there. It doesn't do anything. It's just standing there, and this one guy just randomly wants you to kill it. Like there's nothing else you can do. You can try to take the horse, but it counts as stealing, which is weird. But yeah, you have to kill this horse, and it's apparently like a knockoff to the last unicorn.
Wow. All right, I'm going to take us out of the booth for a second, and then, or take us out of the room, put us in the booth, and bring us back in.
Okay. I don't think that'll have repercussions.
Oh, okay. I thought it would kick you out, but it doesn't. That's pretty sick.
Oh, nice. I love the fact that my screen cracks when it's in my pocket.
What? Not... Oh, wow.
That's my screen protector. I should have added that.
Oh. Yeah. Okay,
again, my camera movement is not working.
Back down, I think. Oh, I think we just have to sit. Are you still in the...
Yeah.
There you are, hi!
Hello. Is I the turtle?
He's a turtle.
Coming to steal your shit.
Do you think reality would add, like, a turtle gotcha?
I don't see why not.
Show? That would be amazing.
In that one fishing game, the first season of it or whatever, the reward was a turtle hat.
Yeah. There hasn't been a fishing game forever. For a couple months now.
Yeah, I think they opted that out for this booth.
I think that might have been the better play, because I never had too much fun playing the fishing game.
Yeah. Whenever they started adding stats to the game, I'm like, really?
I actually liked that. That seemed interesting, and I wish I kind of figured that out a little bit more.
The problem was like, if you're gonna add stats into it, why not like make a hub world for the fishing game where like people can just gather up and then go set sail to wherever they want to go, but like not like the little lobby screen, just an actual hub world that you can walk around in and interact with stuff and like go talk to someone to set your skills or give yourself a buff or buy certain gear and whatnot.
Yeah, reality, make it a fishing RPG, please.
I mean, you had the elements. Again, my camera is not working.
I need to explore the worlds more. I'm a little intimidated and timid to do it because I don't understand. And when I first started on reality, I just like kind of isekai'd myself into a lot of things just to figure it out. And I think people were laughing at me. But I wasn't really sure, so I wasn't entirely sure if they were laughing at me or not. So then I just was like, I guess I won't do the worlds anymore because I don't know what I'm doing. So.
Hey, Gasly.
Yes, Gasly's back. I waved because you were talking. I don't want to interrupt. The coffee's not working. What do I do? Help! Oh no! My thing went away. Hold on. The YouTube video is not working. Why did that?
No.
It does cheer me up. I saw that. I'm getting so close to 100. I think something happens at 100. I think I can mobile stream live. So I guess if that never helps. But I don't know. I know
I never got a notification like that.
I think if you look at some of your like settings, I think you could, because I can't live stream from a device unless I mobile device unless I have a certain number of followers, and it could be 50 or it could be 100. I know 1,000 is when you could attempt to get monetized, and have a community page. Yes, a community page, and I don't really understand what that means. But that sounds dope, and that sounds like it's gonna take a while, unless something happens.
Community page sounds like what whenever you make a post about something.
I can still make a post though. I can make a post. I wish you could make posts on reality. And leave polls. I can make a post right now though. If I go to my YouTube page, I think. Wait, I actually never attempted to make a post because I never wanted to. But it gives me the option already. Hold on. Honey.
My next post.
Let's see. Oh, you guys, have you heard the BK drive-thru song? I love that stuff right now, and it got chaos into it. I love it. Maybe I'll put it in the Discord because I don't know if it's copywritten. I don't want to get in trouble for playing it on my channel. But I love this song. It's a meme, so people might have seen it in memes. Yes, please. Okay, let me find. Okay, I am now sidetracking. I am not doing this anymore. Looking up the post thing. I am now looking up this BK song because goddamn is it good.
We're trying to put together.
Don't play it. Don't play it. Where's the share button? It's right in front of your face. It is. It is in front of my face. Alright, here we go. I'm doing stuff. I'm multitasking. I'm so proud of myself. Where's the music tab? I can't use my eyes. Where's the music tab?
My eyes don't work like they used to.
Oh, that's so true for me as well. I started getting bad eyesight in 7th grade. Selfies.
I've had bad eyesight.
Oh. So you had to wear glasses when you were like a very small child?
Yeah, I have astigmatism in my left eye, so my left eye sees less than my right eye.
I think I might as well. I think I have astigmatism in both eyes, but I think my left eye might be worse. But yeah, night driving. Well, I'm not driving at the moment, but night driving is a little difficult.
I actually do have
no,
birthmark.
I can't use my eyes to find the music tab. Oh, here it is. I found it. Never mind. I'm gonna make this bigger for a second. And paste it. Paste it. There we go. Send it. Full send. There we go. I did it. Okay, Streamlabs. There we go. Wait. That's not what I want to do. Let's do this one, and then let's do... Oh, wait. That's for the old chat. Okay, I can make a new one. Okay. Thank you for the torches, lovely son. And Landon, hello. Thank you for coming to the stream. Just a Caturday. Caturday. I'm so sorry. I'm so tired. Everything's a joke to me. Blap.
He's coming out with the buns.
The buns? I don't got buns. I got beans.
Said buns.
I don't got buns. I got beans. I had some. Yeah, I mean, I had some very vivid dreams last night. Like, very vivid. I was very bold. I was telling people off. I was, like, exploring. There was so many things happening in my dream. It's exhausting. I dream every night.
I had a dream, too. And similar concepts. but at the same time, what the hell? The
I'm very
only thing I can
confrontational in my dreams.
My dreams are just random, but this one was just like, I think I was talking to a group of people at a grocery store in like those little medical gowns, like like whenever they have a patient prepped for surgery, and they have to like give them that gown.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just in that, just talking to them casually, and some doctor just like physically examining me, and I just like turn around and yell at them, and then I go back to just talking normal. I'm like, what you want, Joe?
Interesting. Oh, Rosie's back. Meow. Meow.
I'm giving her the butt pats.
Yeah, cats like those. Right near the tail or on the side, and bam, 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 bam. They're like, yeah, give me more. And then you go bam, bam, bam. And they're like, yeah, push me over. And like, yeah. Like animals kind of want to like get bossed around, especially dogs too. When you like wrestle with dogs, they do that thing where they like put their front paws down and then they stick their butt up, and they're like, hey, that's fun. Play with dogs like that when they want to play. That was a bad one. Sorry. What other meows are there? I like that. I don't know if I can do it today, but the closed mouth growl. That one. And they get mad, and they're too mad to open up their mouth, so they just growl inside their throat, and you can feel it.
My cat only ever does that if there's like a different cat around.
Ooh. Yeah, his shit's about to go down.
And the funny thing is, she's like lovable and shit, but like if she like gets into a fight with a cat, she doesn't hold back. She will just straight up slam him or start the fight herself.
She wins
most of the time.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. My cat was a bully, and she won a lot of the time too.
A lot of the time, but there's like a new cat. If she faintly recognizes our scent on them, then she'll come up and just like rub on them, even if they're like hissing at her. Like she won't care. But it was just like an entirely new cat. She's just like borderline feral.
Oh, my cat also used to fight the raccoons. Yeah, she was a pound kitty. She's tough.
There was one time at my brother's house when I was watching over their dogs. I'm gonna go take the trash out, and I open up the trash bin, and all I hear is a growl, and I see like little eyes pop, like inside the can. I was like, okay, and I just immediately chucked the trash in and closed it back down, and like put bricks on it. I'm like, and I just messaged my brother. I'm like, there's gonna be a lot of trash outside, just so you know. He's like, what happened? I'm like, there's a raccoon in there. He's like, so
trash. Be careful.
He's like, so are you gonna do anything about it? I'm like, no. I'm gonna trap it in there, and whenever you get back, you can deal with it. He's
that
like,
wasn't part of the deal, bro.
Cool. I came to watch your dog, not take care of a freaking raccoon.
You can call it animal control. Stretch the bean.
It's not like it was gonna starve in there. There was plenty of leftovers in the trash.
What if it gave birth in there?
Well, that explains why it growled at me. Hey, if anything, I gave it a secure home. There's no way something can break in now.
You made it multiply by giving it more food and a safe place to have its babies. So is anyone doing something special for the first day of fall? Has everyone got their fall scented candles out? What else do you do in fall? Candy apples, caramel apples, a bunch of apples. It's like apple season, right? fall. That's when you pluck apples. You pluck apples or you pick apples? Do you pluck a berry and pick an apple? Like, does plucking connotate that you're doing something and the item is small?
Probably, because, like, the same concept can be applied for a feather. Pluck a feather.
Ah, true.
Like, I think plucking just means, like, it involves your fingers. Meanwhile, picking up involves your whole hand.
Yes, good reasoning there. I like that. I like having these talks. Well, if this is this and this is that, then what is this? Like cereal and soup, right? I mean, people get mad about the idea. But you were about to say, no way. We think blue.
I was like, well, like my first thought was about to say like some weird meme I saw, but I'm like, oh, that's a little inappropriate because it actually was. And then I'm just like, oh no, let's go with cereal soup. And you said it, I'm like, oh my god. And
then a hot dog's a sandwich. Tell me I'm wrong. Hot dog's a sandwich.
Okay, you've watched Markiplier, right?
No. Well, no, that's a lie. I don't watch him a lot. Have I seen a Markiplier video in the past? Yes. And I think it was
Have you?
Five Nights at Freddy's, and I think one of it was an SCP game. Like, and this was, I think, 7-8 years ago. But I'm familiar with that. He's a tuber.
I've seen their podcast, The Distractables, because there was a legit one of the conversations he had was that is hot dog a sandwich?
It is a sandwich. But I love to hear people's discussion about it. Yeah, like a hot dog's a sandwich. But please don't put ketchup on the hot dog. If it's in a bun. I'll have to
send you a link.
But however, if you just eat hot dogs like sliced up, then ketchup is acceptable. I believe. It's very delicious. If I just have cut up hot dog like I'm a 5-year-old, I want some ketchup on the side. But ketchup is just so sugary. It really is. It's too much. Mustard.
Not for me though. I find it savory.
Oh, I'm not a fan. Like, I have to hold back because I know a lot of people like ketchup with eggs. So when I see that, I literally have to bite my tongue because
ketchup with eggs?
Yeah, a lot of people do that. Chaos does that sometimes, so I have to be like, Hope you enjoy that because I just can't fathom doing that.
I think I've done it before and I didn't like it, but I don't think I would like it.
Because it's not too far off from the idea of a breakfast burrito. Because you add salsa to a breakfast burrito, and it's delicious.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then, with that thought in mind, ketchup on eggs, it's not that far away. But still, I'm like, no. I actually don't eat too much ketchup. But sometimes when I smell it, I do crave meatloaf. But I haven't had meatloaf for years, and I don't think I can. But I think gluten-free meatloaf might just turn out really bad. Because you gotta add some sort of something, I don't know what to call it, but like breadcrumbs or something else to like keep the stuff together to make it like a meatloaf, right?
Yeah, the alternatives for gluten are definitely hard to get by with certain foods.
Yes.
Especially when it comes to meat, because like it's just like you have to form the meat into a freaking loaf. So how are you gonna have that hold itself together when the gluten, which is like food glue, is not there?
Yes,
it's weird though.
Is literally food glue. It's true. Like just molecular wise, that's what it does. I really like the show Good Eats. If anyone's familiar with it. And the reason why I like that show is that there's a lot of cute props that the host uses to explain cooking on a scientific level. So he'll have like a certain models for gluten, and then he has these sock puppets that he uses for yeast, and he makes them burp, and it's really funny.
Have you seen the YouTuber Binging with Babish?
Yes, I have.
I was gonna say you should definitely look him up because he's done plenty of like cooking videos, and I think he has like gluten-free alternatives for I think every one of his recipes.
Yeah, I like seeing him do the food or the specials of. No, sorry, so let me gather my thoughts. I like to see him do videos of food that we see in TV shows and movies. So he did
like in anime too.
The one that I like because it's so I haven't watched it too much, but just the idea of someone making this is it's in SpongeBob. It's when this blue fish orders that crazy deep fried Krabby Patty on a stick. He made that.
Oh,
in, like,
yeah.
2 different ways, and I was like, yes, someone was insane enough to do this. I forgot exactly. There was like a particular.
It was I think it was like a double Krabby Deluxe, with the works, double fried with.
Yes. Good job. You got it. Yeah, it was like with the works, double fried, because that was the interesting bit to see him cook was double frying something.
Dude literally gives him a freaking bottle of mustard. Not mustard,
No, it's mayo. That's why I really remember it, because I fucking hate. Sorry, I hate mayo. Like I hate mayo. But I mean, Japanese mayo is
he does
good.
the mayo shot too, and I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah, that's like it's just like down the hatch mayo, and that's just like the worst thing I can imagine. Unless it's QP mayo.
Like I love mayo, but like I can't just like drink it like that.
You do, Taki. Hello, good to see you. Happy Caturday. Mwah.
Hey, Taki.
Mwah. That wasn't a meow. Sorry. Meow. Look at my beans. And we're just chatting here, and we're talking about YouTubers and food. And yeah, mayonnaise. No, it's gross. I remember the Amanda Bynes show where they were doing something like a little skit, and it was just like eating a bunch of mayonnaise or being in a tub full of mayonnaise, and I was just like, that is just so gross. And this idea that white people love mayonnaise, I'm just like, I'm not one of those. I've never liked mayonnaise. But I do see a lot of people who happen to be white just kind of like go to town on that stuff. I'm just like, why? I don't understand. So gross. Mayonnaise.
The thing is with me, when it comes to most condiments, like I don't mind them, but they have to be like refrigerated for me. Like I can deal with them being like, you know, just if they sat out and got a little warm, but like if they're cold from the fridge, I prefer that more than just like, you know, they've been sitting out for a minute.
You like cold
Like something
condiments.
about it just tastes better to me.
You know, that's I could see that. I might like a cold, like cold mustard. That's kind of nice on a hot dog. I like the temperature variance.
Yeah, that can also help too.
Yeah. Sorry, I saw some birds and I'm like, birds!
Freaking wolf playing, yeah.
Birds! Oh, you know how cats do that when they see a bird and they're like barking at it? It's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, cats can bark. What are you doing? It's bark.
Funny thing is, whenever you sneeze, they do that, they interpret your sneezing as a hiss to them. So when you're hissing, they're kind of scared because they're like, what did I do?
Oh, I never heard that. The sneeze, they see it as a hiss. Oh, thank you for the falling angel and falling devil, Teddy, Taki. Oh, look at them go. Ah. Nini, thank you for becoming a follower. What did you write? It got comment deleted.
Oh, my bad.
Like, I didn't, what? Thank you for love our waves.
Oh, crap, I'm back.
I
I
think
can't
that was
unblock
a
it. Oh,
mistake.
shit.
I'm sorry, Nini. Can you wait, that was comment deleted, so I think Nini can still talk if
Wait.
you want to. That was a mistake.
No, that's blocked.
No,
Oh,
you
crap.
No!
Hold on. God damn it. I missed. I'm such an asshole.
I don't know if I can do anything on my end because comments are blocked. Unless I make
No,
my
I guess we
viewer
got it.
a Ghastly got it? Okay, thank you. I hope so. Thank you
Oh my
very
god.
much for fixing that.
For some reason, I misread it and like I thought I like read a really bad word, and I'm like, okay.
I didn't even see what it was first. The turtle paws. It's football season, so yeah, he fumbled on that one.
Yeah, for real.
I used to love football, but then I don't like it too much anymore because people get too hurt, and then it affects the
I
rest
could
of
have
their
done
life.
football, but I'm just not competitive enough.
I
I
like
could
playing
be.
football. I'm not a great thrower, but I'm a pretty dramatic catcher.
Dramatic catcher.
Yeah, I'll go for the dive. I'll be like, oh, I got it. Whoosh. Yes,
It could just be like
athletic.
a normal catching. You have to put in that finesse.
Oh yes, I gotta finesse it. I was athletic until the vessel took a dive on me. I played softball, I played volleyball, I did fencing, I did a little bit of archery, I did gymnastics. I was pretty good just at like sports we played during PE. So, you know, I like playing sports. I should have started when I was a little bit younger, though. I started playing sports a little bit later, when I was like 9 or 10.
I used to be in soccer, and I actually got kicked out of my soccer team.
For being too good,
Well,
right?
no, we
Right,
didn't
right.
get kicked out. We kind of bailed on the team. So let me explain what happened.
Yeah, you better.
So I'm in the team, and I was like a kid, and I had ADHD back then, so like I had a hard time focusing, and I was just like the literal goofball. Like I was the worst player in the team, basically. And while people would be playing and stuff, I'd just be like running around in the back, like doing cartwheels and shit.
Oh.
And sorry, I didn't mean to cuss. So
Oh, you can say shit. Just I don't like any of the hard F's or C's. Yeah.
okay.
Keep it keep it PG-13. How about that? I think that's an easy thing. Keep it PG-13, so you can say shit.
All right, the hell with it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was like the worst player.
Oh. Are you still
But,
talking?
like,
I can't hear you. Okay. Sorry, I thought it was a power outage.
So one day, my coach from what my family explained to me, because I don't remember this at all, but one day my coach was just giving me an earful, like the usual stuff, and all they saw for me was that like I was just looking at the ground, kicking dirt, and then I looked at him, looked at the ground, looked back at him, and reeled back I brought back my foot and reeled back as far as I could, and just straight up kicked him in the balls. And
wow.
he fell. Coach fell down to the ground, like and, like as he was down, my brother just comes in and like swoops me up, like just straight up picks me up like a suitcase and just like hauls ass to the van with my family, and we just got it home.
That is an amazing story. And you never saw him again?
I may have saw him at a different point, but like I don't recognize him.
Wow. Do you remember anything afterwards, like when you got home?
No, I don't remember this at all. Like apparently that's what I did to my coach, and like I remember some games where like I'd play and like I would always like try to be like they would try to put me as like a goalie or something, and I would just like let the ball go into the goal.
Oh, goalie's a hard. I mean, I never got into soccer or football, but it's every position's got its role, right?
Yeah,
upfield, midfield, downfield, goalie. But what a story! Wow. You were in a fume state. You were so mad you couldn't even remember. Oh, someone's in YouTube chat is asking what type of games we like. And it's kind of a hard thing to answer. I play a lot of games. I think I could tell you more of the games I don't play too much. I don't really play RTS too much. I don't play like open world games all too much or creative mode. But all the other games, like arcade games, combat games, adventure games, 3D platformers. But I see a trend with Cerulean's games, zombies and open world type games, open world RPGs.
Yep, and then the occasional platformers because of Mega Man.
Oh right, yes, you do platformers quite a bit, Nintendo platformers. Oh yeah, and then turn by turn for Pokemon. We both play Pokemon. I think I play more turn by turn games.
Legends.
Legends? Oh, Legends, right. I need to finish Legends. I'm still like dragging my heels a little bit because the sky's a really pretty purple color and I'm just like digging it. So I'm doing like the side quests and stuff.
Honestly, I did the same thing, but like not because of like I liked it. I did it because I wanted to have all my team at level 100. But
Okay, so
I only had my Umbreon at 100. So like after that, I just went and beat the game, and then I managed to beat the game at exactly 69 hours.
Yeah, let's go, boy. Nice.
I
That's
screenshotted that stuff, and I screenshot that so like I could just have that as an internal memory.
Good. Umbreon's, I think, is a very powerful evolution and a powerful.
He's a straight up tank in the game.
Yeah, I remember not for Legends, but I used Umbreon for the Elite Four in a particular Pokemon game because I wanted a balanced team and I knew that I needed a dark Pokemon. So I was like, okay, I think Umbreon here. And man, Umbreon, yeah, like can deal damage and take damage. It's good. So Umbreon is my favorite evolution for battle.
Never beaten Coliseum.
Aesthetically, I don't know. I mean, I think I've never played Coliseum. Is Coliseum available on the Nintendo Switch, like online pass?
No, unfortunately, it's a GameCube game.
Oh, they haven't done the GameCube stuff yet.
Maybe one day, but Coliseum I definitely liked it for how different it was to the formula of the game. Like, yeah, it's still turn-based and everything and like that, but like the way it starts off is that like instead of like you choosing your Pokemon, you already have two Pokemon at like level 25 or whatever, and it's your Umbreon and it's your Espeon. And instead of like being this hero, you're like a thief.
Ooh.
Going around snatching people's Pokemon with a capture device that's literally on your arm. But instead of like stealing everyone's Pokemon, you're stealing Shadow Pokemon, which were Pokemon bred to be war machines.
Oh, does this have anything to do with Gale of Darkness? Because I played that game for a bit.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the sequel to Coliseum.
I had very little expectations of that game when I played it. It was more like my siblings' game because we got the GameCube that was a special edition Gale of Darkness GameCube. And so it came with the game, and it had that like cool dark Lugia on it. And so when they were going to swim practice, I stayed and played the GameCube because my sibling is younger than me, so they needed help with some, video game stuff. And they're the type of person who enjoys watching people game. I'd rather be the gamer. So I'm like, okay, I'll help you with Mario Sunshine. I'll do Luigi's Mansion if I can, and then I'll figure out Gale of Darkness. Gale of Darkness seemed a little bit too, I don't think they read very well at the time. So I feel like playing Gale of Darkness without a reading, I'm not trying to say my siblings bad at reading. I think they were just too young at the time to read all the stuff you needed to read in a Pokemon game. Pokemon in my life has helped me with my reading comprehension. So, yeah, I could understand that, like, they didn't know what to do. And so, like, since I was older and I could read more, I played the game a lot more. And that game, I still think about it. It's very fun, and I wish I finished it because I like the open world concept of it. I know I said I didn't like open world games, but some of them are surprising. I just don't tend to gravitate to those all too much. But yeah, the graphics for Gale of Darkness were really impressive. And what you did, there was a lot of things you could do. It was just a really great, I think, mildly underrated game.
The music in Coliseum is definitely my favorite in all the Pokemon games because it's so different compared to the music that you would hear in other games where it's just basically a redone version of the same battle music you've heard for years on end, and in Coliseum, it's just totally different. It's super energetic, and it could go from super energetic to just straight up yo, this is serious, and then out of nowhere, it's hey, this is actually kind of goofy too. I'm okay. And then whenever you fight, I think what was his name, Mr. B or Minor B or whatever, I can't remember. But whenever you fight the Afro guy, the freaking music, I'm just this is supposed to be serious, but I can't take this seriously at all. Because you're over here fighting a freaking Afro maniac with Lulicolos as his entire team, and I'm this can't be for real. And you're losing to him. I'm I just got my butt rocked by an Afro-wearing, sherbet-looking douchebag.
But what was I gonna say? I think I've never I never considered having a full team of the same Pokemon, but now I feel like I would want to, because I think it would look funny just to have a bunch of Psyducks. A bunch of beefy Psyducks.
There's this YouTuber who I see very rarely, but he does Pokemon battles and just I think it's an emulated version of one of the 3DS games, but it basically lets you choose, or it seems like it lets you choose any Pokemon in any of the games to be on your team, and you go and just you go into a little lobby and someone can come and fight you. He has this team of just the most absurd things possible, and manages to beat people with level 100 legendaries or a really crapped out team with the best tactics possible. Basically the sweatiest Pokemon players that you can find that are just die hard to the extreme. If you manage to beat one of their Pokemon, it's either because you're a hacker, or you're the one with no life, or they just didn't optimize their Pokemon to be so and so. His content is just all that, just straight up demolishing the best, the quote unquote best of the best in the whole Pokemon quote unquote league. And just the whole time being an absolute troll to them. And it's so hilarious.
Why can't Pokemon, why can't we do 6v6? We can do a double battle, but Pokemon's been a thing for too long for us not to have 6v6.
The most they've done is
they've done threes?
Yeah, and
oh right.
What is it? X and Y. You could whenever you go to that diner area, and you go and get your food, and they're just hey, here's your food. First, you gotta let me battle you. And then it's waiter Cassandra sends out a three-man team of Lulicolos. What do you summon? My Charizard, my Blastoise, and my This is Gen 8. Don't you have a Fennec Fox? Hell no. Use Fire Blast.
Yeah, I chose Fennec Fox too. I was really excited for Pokemon Z, and that never happened.
Yeah.
Okay. I was so excited with some of my other internet friends at the time. We're like, yeah, Pokemon Z and the Pokemon Legendary, these are gonna be really cool and stuff. And oh yeah, and it makes a lot of sense. X, Y, and Z. It does, and then it never happened.
Remember whenever one of the news articles, they were leaking out like potential Pokemon games, and they got like sword, shield, and gun.
Yes, the gun. They got a dog.
I'm like, you seriously got paid by a meme? Like, what the hell, man?
I don't. I mean, yeah, it's always fun to think like, oh, what is Pokemon gonna do next? Because or like the polarizing, like red and blue, and then gold and silver, and then the stones, and then they did more colors. They're very into the colors, because they've done, Scarlet and Violet. That's the newest ones, which I still don't know if I'm gonna get into or not, because why?
Yeah.
Black and white, and then they did. I mean, gold and silver. I would consider them also colors. I know they're metals, but they're also considered colors. So I'm gonna say that that's a twofer. And then they did black and white, and then Ruby and Sapphire. Those can be colors too, but I'm gonna stick with those as like the gems, because there's Ruby, Sapphire, and then there's Pearl and Diamond and Platinum. I guess Platinum can be considered a color as well, but you really don't see Platinum in like your coloring box. You can see a gold and a silver, but Platinum color, no, I don't think that exists for like a box of crayons. But yeah,
I feel like
do the colors.
If they were to make a new Pokemon game, like later on, if they should like do one that's based on the Pokemon lore that's been mentioned so many times in the stories.
I've only noticed it mentioned in X and Y. I guess maybe I haven't been paying attention.
I thought it was mentioned a bunch in the show, or maybe it was X and Y, but like it'd be a cool concept to be like to do that instead of like having the gyms and the gyms like in Legend. It's like you're fighting war generals and whatnot, or armies. And I don't know.
So with the Pokemon War, is it like the Emu War, like Pokemon v humans, or humans and Pokemon v humans and Pokemon?
I think a little bit of both. Question mark. Because all I can remember was that like it talked about a Pokemon war, and that like many people lost their lives to it, and you got that one sole survivor who was like been looking for that one Pokemon for like, I don't know, 2 days or whatever. And then he finds her and he's like, oh wow, I can die
2
now.
days? I thought it said like, I've been waiting for this for 1,000 years. It's a meme.
Timeline
X
kind of
and
confusing.
Y? In X and Y? It's like it's a meme. But wait, I had an idea. Oh, you know what I really liked, and since we're talking about the Pokemon War, is that in Legends, people are deathly afraid of Pokemon, and I just really like that take on it. Because in every game, they've just said, welcome to the world of Pokemon, where humans and Pokemon live together in harmony. In most games, and then in Legends, people are like, oh my gosh, I do not go outside the village because of these scary-ass monsters.
I also love the fact that like you're like, what, 15 or 16, and they're like, you will do this, and if you fail, you will be casted out of the city and die. I'm like,
very animated, I have to say, like more than the other.
Yeah, they like actually said the word die. I'm like, hold on, is this a Pokemon game? I can die?
I have to
but
work
no, you just faint. I'm like, oh.
I have a job. I gotta work to eat and sleep in this area. Oh gosh.
I think it would have been cool if like you yourself could get hurt, and then like instead of using the potions and stuff, you'd have to like craft bandages to heal yourself and stuff. I think that would have been a pretty cool mechanic. It might have been too graphic, but I mean, hell, they're talking about Pokemon killing you, so just like fit the description.
Yeah, and it's already
be a little
graphic
adventurous.
because the Pokemon can hurt you while you're just roaming, and then you can faint because you don't even have your Pokemon out, and the what is it called? The Alpha Rapidash will just trample you. I still haven't. I know they could respawn some of the alphas, but I still haven't I don't think. Wait, did I capture an alpha Rapidash? Because I know it's kind of like in one of the beginning areas, but I was like, oh, it's so big. Really
yeah,
are.
you just go to just as you spawn into that area, just go left and you'll find them.
There's this side quest that I'm stuck on because I guess I never meet the right conditions, but it's the Clefairy subquest, and you have to catch the Clefairies dancing during a full moon. And I guess I never catch it at the right time. Something happens, I don't know, but yeah, I have a side quest where I know where the Clefairies are and stuff, but I never like see them, or I never go to the area at the right time during a full moon. So
there is another quest that actually the only time it's ever hinted in any of the other Pokemon games, and it's not required of you to know this, but like, you know, this is the only way you get a hint. You had to have read a book in, I think it's like what, Black 1 or 2. Wait, what? Yeah, one of those from the DS titles. Or no, I think it was the remake of Diamond and Pearl. Regardless, it required you, or you would have to have read a book in one of the other games to at least have an idea of what you need to do at a certain place for one of these quests. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, and it's not like a clear hint or anything. It's just that, like, here's a book. This is what it talks about. Okay. And then like
crazy.
you do this. Yeah, I'm just like, who the hell would even like put that together?
Mm-hmm.
It's just crazy.
Mm-hmm. Well, who's our favorite cat Pokemon? Well, not your favorite, but like who's like, you know, top tier cat Pokemon? Wait, I gotta pull up a thing because there's a lot of cat Pokemon. Are Evolutions considered cats? No.
I was gonna ask that because if anything, I would put Espeon as a cat.
Oh crap! Evolutions do kind of look like cats, don't they? Or are they foxes? I don't know. I gotta ask Google so many questions. So, because then we've got Sprigga, the new cat starter, and right, Sprigga cat.
Yeah, I guess that could be up there too.
Pokemon. Okay, so here
Would
let me make this a little bit bigger.
Would Raikou be considered a cat then? Because he's like a tiger.
I thought it was a dog. Wait, Raikou? The dogs? I thought they were dogs.
I don't know. I could kind of see Raikou as like a tiger. My dad agrees.
Rosie agrees. I'm sorry, I'm saying it as a dog. Okay, so... Oh, wait! No, the internet thinks Raikou is a cat as well.
Oh.
I don't know about that.
I mean, in Scarlet and Violet, Raikou's a freaking giraffe.
Is there a dinosaur Pokemon that's also considered a cat? They're tired just as me. I don't know what cat Pokemon I prefer. I mean, Espeon does look pretty nice, but I only see Espeon as the evolution, like you said. I don't see any other evolutions. Oh, the Shanks is pretty cute. I do like Shanks. And also the name of it. It's cute. And Persian is pretty cute.
Persian is definitely a cat Pokemon.
Yeah. Because it's all about that
that's
cat
just like
attitude,
straight up
being
cat.
like a diva and a princess, or even if it's a boy Pokemon, or, you know, royalty. It has this atmosphere of luxury and elegance that I do like. And it's a Gen 1, so I just have a special place in my heart for most Gen 1 Pokemon. My mom really likes Meowth, but I think it's because of the anime.
Freaking talking cat.
My mom really likes Meowth and Jigglypuff. Because Jigglypuff drew on everyone's faces. Because she would watch the anime with me, you know. And I think she probably liked Pokemon more than SpongeBob. I feel really bad that she told me a while ago that she really couldn't stand SpongeBob, and I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry, I had that shit on all the time. You're such a great mom. I'm sorry. You know, I'm such a fan of SpongeBob that it took me a while to just understand why someone wouldn't like it. But I look at it and I'm like, yeah, it could be a little bit grating on the ears, you know. And it is a really
there was a time where like I actually started to hate SpongeBob too because it's just like he in general he does get annoying.
Oh yeah.
And like it got to the point where like I just enjoyed the episodes where like he suffered. And I'm just like, yeah, that's what you get, you freaking annoying bitch.
Ah! I don't know. I think I'm with some people here. Like, I know the evolutions are really popular and they're very merchandisable, but I think that the fact that they've been so merchandised that I'm like, I'm so over the evolutions. Yeah. Well,
I could
also
get
give
that.
us more. Give us. I do want to see the other types, like poison evolution. What's that gonna look like? Is it gonna be all drippy and stuff, like muck? That'd be cool. Cause
or like a dragon type.
Is really cool. And then there needs. What else is there?
Bug type, dragon type,
yeah.
ground type, steel type.
Ooh, steel Eevee, yeah.
A flying type.
Ghost.
Then you got a ghost type.
I think ghost type would be really cute, and I could see it. I could already foresee like some animations of its head being like disconnected from its body and doing like a little like animation of it during its like battle phase. You know, like it's an idle animation.
I did see a YouTube short where like someone made their own concept art of like what the evolutions could look like if they had a third form to their evolutions, and their third form gives them a different type as well. So like they're a dual type now.
Okay.
And one would be like crap, I'm forgetting, but one was like a dark and either like a dark flying type or dark ghost type. The other one would be psychic electric or something like that. If I see that short again, I'll try to link you to it so you can see what I'm talking about. I'm really butchering that though.
No, I never even considered evolutions to have a third stage. I was just thinking more of, because I've seen a lot of concept art of, you know, the different types that haven't been used already. But yeah, I didn't think about a third evolution. Oh, sick.
Apparently in the older Pokemon games and like in the demos, they showed a dual type for a fire water type in I think gold that it was never used, and it was basically imagine a seal with a fiery ball in its head, and that would be like the first fire
type. Wow.
Yep. And then
combo in itself, I don't know if Pokemon would do that. I don't know. It's like certain like combos. I'm just like I don't know. Like I just like the opposites. I don't know. There's something in me that's like I don't know if I would enjoy playing that dual type. I just kind of think they should be like a little bit abstract from each other. Like a rock electric type. I don't know if there's any Pokemon that are like that, but I just don't think that's all too. I don't know. It doesn't sound appealing. Just in my opinion.
I think there is one, but I can't remember it.
But there are steel fairy types, aren't there? And isn't steel super effective against fairy?
Yeah, there's that key Pokemon.
Isn't the one with the big mouth on its head steel and fairy as well?
The big mouth on its head.
Let me see. Let me go.
I can't remember.
It's Molly. It's yellow and it's got a big old mouth on its head that's supposed to look like hair. Mawile. I think it's from Generation 3 and 4.
Really?
But let me see, what type is it? Let me go to Wikipedia. It's Steel Fairy, yeah.
Huh. Send me a picture of that on Discord so I can look at it later,
Okay, let me
if you don't mind.
I'll just share the Bulbapedia page. It's a little bit easier for me.
Sounds good.
Oops. Oops. Oops, 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 oops.
Cool, got it.
Cool.
I'll look at that
Technology,
later.
when it works, it's super smexy.
Right.
Yeah. Where's the agrees? Oh, that one was good.
Also, I just realized, do you have Pokemon music playing in the background?
No, it's free background music, but it sounds
Oh,
very
right.
like, you know, we're in a very chill Pokemon town, you know, that doesn't have a gym, but it does have shopping and a Pokemon Center and probably someone to talk to give you a fishing rod or something, you know?
Right. Or a bike for $1 million freaking dollars.
Is there any way you could, like, save up and actually buy the bike? Will
There-
it let you?
I remember in X, whenever you talked to that one guy who sells like the what is it, the Mega Pearls for like a ridiculous price, and the only way to get him to lower that price is you have to spend so much money at the fashion area to get like a bigger discount, and the more things you buy and the more outfits you come in with, he drops the price down to I think over half.
I love the ability to buy clothes in X and Y, and then they had like I didn't understand how the rotation worked, but I did understand that they would have different items, so you would just have to like travel to all these different places and be like, "Ooh, what are they selling today? Ooh, what is this?"
I love
So fun.
I love that they had like the built-in mini games for your Pokemon, and then like whenever you'd run around, your Pokemon would just be like either hopping, or if you were skating around, they'd roll all over the place.
I agree. Those were the X and Y is so enjoyable for those reasons as well. You get to pet your Pokemon. You can give cupcakes to like Giratina, and it gets so happy and it makes a little cute face, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like it's just too much fun. It was Pokemon Amelie, something like it's like the French word for friend, I think, or something along those lines. And then you could do the mini games that I've gotten perfect scores on several times. It's really fun, like catching the fruit or something, or the whatever. I don't know, but they were really fun. And you could get max scores on it, and you can make your Pokemon love you even more. And then I think that helped for certain evolutions, if it meant like evolution through friendship. X and Y was fun. I spent a lot of time, and so is Moon. I haven't gotten to Ultra, but I almost have the regional Pokedex filled out for Moon, which I've never really been close to doing in any other game.
I did buy it, but actually no, I didn't buy it. Someone gave me the game, I think. Can't remember, but I think it went that like they gave me the game, and they also gave me this card that had a code for the legendary Pokemon, or whatever it was, in Alpha
Did it start with a V?
Sapphire.
Was it that one? That has like the V on its forehead?
It's the one with like the giant circle on its back. It's the actual fire water type. That's what made me brought up that that fire seal thing. But apparently that Pokemon's not that great. But like, it's a free legendary, but you can't use him because he's like what, level 80 or 50. You need like however many gym badges you need to like control higher level Pokemon.
Oh, this guy looks funky.
So like, it's a cool concept and everything, but it's just that like the fact that you can't even use it to begin with just kind of sucks. But
did you mess
I
around
never
with the
did get far in
Pokemon's-
that game.
Oh, sorry, but did you ever mess around with the Pokemon trading card game? Whether physical or
No, I
digital?
could never figure out what to do.
Mm.
It would just tell me, it's like, here's this, and then like, I was like, okay, who do I? And I would talk to everyone, and they'd be like, you should do this. I'm like, okay, do that, okay. What now?
Yeah,
And nothing.
I felt like the Pokemon trading card game needed a lot of work. Cause I remember attempting to do it because I was buying booster packs, and they would give you a card saying if you play online, you get a booster pack. And I'm like, that sounds pretty sick, you know. So do that because playing digital games, if the in real life game takes a long time to set up. So I'm like, this is the future. This is why we have technology. I don't want to set it up. I just want to, I want to play. So that's why I kind of like digital card games. And when you're learning how to play a card game, it's kind of nice to play a digital version because it won't allow you to make an illegal move because it's a program. When you play with in real life people, they might tell you the wrong rules or you may not understand them the way that you should understand them. Or playing by someone else's quote-unquote house rules can get confusing when then you venture off to play with other people and they're like, oh, who taught you this? And you're like, I don't know. I was taught by this person how to play. And, but when I learned how to play through a computer game or a video game, then, they won't allow me to cheat. I'm not modding that stuff out. No, I just want to play the game. So they'll tell me what I can and cannot do. But yeah, the Pokemon game, the trading card game, like, it's okay. It's all right. I mean, I can get into it, but it's just not one of my favorites. I just thought maybe I'd ask you if you'd play. So you like Pokemon. You have a very great memory. You're telling me all this stuff about all the other Pokemon games. I'm like, I don't remember any of this.
It's certain things that I have a good memory on. Sometimes it's mostly just like it's like a second nature thing. It's like whenever you, for me, it's whenever I play the game so much that like I just remember a bunch of stuff, and then like looking up some facts about it, that just kind of sticks to me. Like in Mega Man, I can just openly explain how the game works, and like a couple of facts about it and whatnot. And then like in Pokemon, same thing, just some things I picked up here and there, as well as just like looking up random facts about not even looking it up, just having random facts brought up to my feed on YouTube, and I'm like, let's look at this, and they're being like, did you know about this thing? And here's a look at the demo of certain games and stuff, and how different Pokemon were this and never came to be. And I'm like, oh, that's really interesting. Like, it's just many things like that just kind of stick with me, and like I could hear that and not think about it for years, and then it just like, moments like these, it just brings up again, and I'm like, oh, hey, did you know about this? And all these things, it's just like certain things just like kick up in my memory, and it's very weird that like my mind can reference many things. It's actually, all right, this is going to be like kind of jumping the subject a little far, but in my story, there's a guy who is in a team called Alpha and Omega. And for a really long time, I thought the term Alpha and Omega was from the actual movie Alpha and Omega, which is about those two wolves. But it never felt right to me. Like, I was like, it can't be just that, because I know my mind is complicated and it likes to reference everything. So I was like, it just can't be. And for a really long time, I didn't know what it be.
Sorry, you're a little far away from the mic.
Oh, sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. So one day I was just playing Mega Man. I was playing Battle Network 3, and I was just finding the last boss like normal, because I was just beating the game for the millionth time. And then I remember that after you beat the game, there's like quote unquote new game plus, where it's just like there's stuff to do after the game is done. And I'm like, you do all that and beat it like 100%. The game gives you a reward of 5 Omega versions of every boss. Well, the last boss in the game for the main story is called Alpha. But when you unlock its Omega version, it's Alpha and Omega. So it's the Alpha, the name Alpha with the Omega symbol. And I looked at that and I thought to myself, that's it. That's what my mind was referencing. That's why this guy named Zachary is in a team called Alpha and Omega, because it's a knockback to a boss in Mega Man Battle Network. I'm like,
that's cool. You're making
I'm like, Jesus Christ, my mind. Yeah. My mind secretly likes to make connections and stuff and references to just many of things that will take me years.
That's good though, that you got the you figured out the trail of thought and you got to the beginning of it.
I understand.
You had that what is it called? The epiphany, maybe. Epiphany. Wait.
I think that's
sign in. There's a Sweeney Todd song called Epiphany that I really like. Oh, Sweeney Todd is for free on YouTube with ads, which I'm like, okay. That was my first rated R movie I saw in movie theaters. Hold on, I need to check an email. I think that's the right.
it. Also helped. You've probably seen Did You Know Game? More than likely, I'm pretty sure.
The what? I'm sorry.
The YouTube channel Did You Know Gaming?
I don't think I know that by name.
It's just a YouTube channel that's just straight up facts about any game out there and like consoles and what were some rumors and how things went about for certain games and whatnot, and like other games that were a project at one point but never came to be, but there were some demo releases about it, or just how games were back then that were this way, and then whenever the final release came out, they were cool. And how other games from other regions never came to America because it didn't sell well over there, so they're just trying to bring it here. And one example of it being a Metroid game that's like a Metroid game that had like multiple endings. And the way it works is that it's like it's straight up RPG, and it's a book as well. So you do something, and the game is like you approach this door. What do you do? If you go into it, skip to page whatever, leave it alone and decide to go somewhere else, skip to this page. And if you decide to do that, and you find, like, say you find an upgrade or you find a boss, then you have to go to a different page and do whatever. If you find an upgrade, you have to jot it down and whatnot. Yeah, it was a very convoluted way to play, especially for like a book. But one of the endings was that you basically escape, but you escape with like a Metroid hybrid trying to hijack your ship, but Samus doesn't know. So, and it just leaves off with that, whether she survives or not. And then another ending is that she gets killed by the hybrid. A lot of the endings involve her just meeting her end. And then like one of the very few endings involves her actually quote unquote surviving. But just the fact that like that was a thing, I'm like, that's crazy.
No,
So
I don't
if
think
you
I've
just
heard
want
of this YouTuber at all.
I'll send you a link of it.
Okay,
So
yeah, it sounds kind of interesting. They just talk about gaming history. I like gaming history.
That's all it is. It's straight up gaming history.
I think the gaming history that I find really intriguing is the gaming industry history and like how it began and how, you know, certain businesses did certain practices, and then how the quote unquote engineers and the creators, you know, had to circumvent around these business practices in order to, you know, do more gaming stuff. Like, you know, and then how the gaming industry was, targeted towards boys because they had to choose which area to put the game in toys because it didn't sell well in the electronics section. So they decided, like Nintendo particularly, decided to put it in the toy section. But at the time, in the 80s, toys were genderfied. So there was a boys section and there was a girls section. And so they're like, well, let's put it in the boys section. And it took, I think, 20 years or so for it to really kind of dig itself out of that gender hole of it being targeted to boys, because you look at the older commercials and they even did some sexist stuff. Like, you see a brother and sister and then, the brother would say some crazy, it didn't age well, let's just say that, crazy shit to the sister, being like, no, this is a boys' time, this is men, this is a game for, boys or men or whatever, and it would be like, very, very targeted towards boys, and, it took a while to advertise towards women, and what's really crazy is that when Pac-Man and Miss Pac-Man came out, Miss Pac-Man did better than Pac-Man, and the majority of people who played Pac-Man were women. More women played Pac-Man than men did. Women play more games than men do. Just in, the games. I mean, there's particular games that are very, very, men-centric, but women beat out just a little bit. Because also, I do think there are probably more women in the world than there are men. But regardless, for something that's so advertised towards men still, there's still, the numbers say that women play more. My mom was a gamer before she had me. But my dad wasn't a gamer. My mom was. So, I mean, it's true in my family. But, I mean, there was other people in my family who were... Not too many people played video games in my family, actually. Huh.
Yeah, I would say...
Sorry to get on that tangent there, but it's just really interesting. We're talking about, gaming history.
No, it's fine. And I would say, I'm definitely a part of the second generation of my family to be a gamer, because the first generation was definitely my older brother, but that's because he was born around the time the gaming industry was really taking off, so he was obviously exposed to all that, and then I got exposed to that because of all the stuff he had, and you see a game and your little brother's being a brat, so just hey, give him a Game Boy and let him have fun. But I feel like the reason why more women played Pac-Man was because I feel like it was just more visually appealing to them versus a guy who's it's just a circle and ghosts, where going on the stereotypes of back then, boys like guns and knives and shooting the bad guys and going around and being the hero who saves all, the people of Contra, that's what was pleasing to the boys, because they're just yeah, we get to go kill aliens and kick ass and save the world and stuff. Meanwhile, in Pac-Man, it's I'm just a circle eating ghost.
Yeah, it does seem like
for a girl, that's enough for them.
Well, I
Back
think it's
then.
nice that.
Well, no, that sounded really sexist. Hold on.
I don't know if I can agree with that, but
yes. Okay, go ahead.
I think video games that have a concept of maybe non-human violence can be very approachable to people who maybe their starter video game. So my starter video game was Super Mario Brothers. That was the first video game I've ever played on the Nintendo Entertainment System, the NES. And I just had to stomp on the bad mushrooms and sorry Cerulean, but get the turtles. So I think that's a very approachable concept to, younger people who are introduced to gaming, or just people who are introduced to gaming itself. With Pac-Man, it's what do? You eat. Okay, that's great. You go around, you eat the things, avoid the ghost. That's cool. And then it was executed so well that, people got addicted to it. And, but another things that I think are kind of cool, but it's still, violence against non-humans, which I think, that's why I think, the ratings happened. But like space games where you're in a ship, like Space Invaders or Galaga or some like asteroids.
Yeah.
Or asteroids is hard. Okay, I'll say that. Asteroid is hard.
I was never good with the arcade games.
Never a Centipede. I don't know if Centipede is considered a space game. It might be. I was addicted to Centipede for a bit, but yeah, like Galaga, Space Invaders. Those games are pretty fun to like get introduced to gaming and not feel, I don't know. I guess some people have a thing with the violence against humans, and that's probably why we have the rating system for games. And some people are sticklers for it. But yeah, video games are fun. They're for everyone. It's hard that there's like a vocal minority about, aggressive FPSs. That just happened. Like, oh, you're not a gamer unless you play. It's like, that's not true. Like when I was in high school, I felt that hardcore. But I played video games on my off time when I wasn't doing homework or wasn't doing sports. It was video games. It was like Need for Speed. It was Kingdom Hearts. It was pinball. Electronic pinball. God, that game was really good. The Wii games.
You played the pinball game on the old computer?
The PlayStation 2. Oh, I did. I forgot that memory a long time ago, and then I saw an image of it, and I'm like, oh, wait, I played this game too. But I was into Solitaire. And I don't know if Solitaire, I guess because you played on a computer, it's technically a video game. But, I mean, Solitaire is great.
I suck at Solitaire.
I play Solitaire right now to try to go to bed, but I'll just play Solitaire for like hours and hours without going to sleep. When I was younger, I used to make personalities for all the numbers. I used to make personalities and backstories for all the numbers, and then certain personalities would be attributed to the suit as well as the number. And I think that was because of Alice in Wonderland. Alice in Wonderland, you saw like the cards, painting the roses for the queen, and certain cards, like the clubs, they were the grunts. They did most of the work. The spades were the enforcers, so the soldiers and the army, and the hearts were the ruling class, and I think the diamonds were like, the court, people of the court. So I guess maybe I used some of that to give my cards personalities while I played Solitaire when I was, on the computer and couldn't go on the internet because someone was on the phone. So I would have to play Solitaire or pinball because otherwise I would go to Cartoon Network to play a Flash game and wait 40 minutes for that shit to load.
Oh my god,
I was so
the old Flash games. So many games I never completed because I sucked.
Oh yeah, they were hard. But they were cool. That Cartoon Network had some great games. I remember there was this Powerpuff Girls snowboarding game that was sick, and then there was this Courage the Cowardly Dog like adventure game that was like pretty addicting as well. I was all about Cartoon Network. Cartoon Network, I mean, I kind of know some stuff about Cartoon Network because I watch certain YouTube videos about animation history, and Cartoon Network recently had its 30th anniversary. So that's kind of a big deal, although it's really kind of sad because the programming right now on Cartoon Network is very, very dead. Like, they're not getting too many new shows. They're not getting, like, the programming on Cartoon Network is not good, and I believe it's because of streaming. Like, there's not too many people on cable right now, and it sucks. But Cartoon Network is a big deal because it was the first cable television channel to exclusively show cartoons 24/7. And it was a gamble. A lot of people thought it wasn't going to work. They're like, who wants to watch cartoons 24/7? But yeah, they had interesting blocks where you would see pilots. And I remember watching the pilots for Courage the Cowardly Dog before it became a show. And it was, I would get excited when I saw the reruns of it. And then I got really excited when it actually became a show. And then there was pilots for all these other shows that I remember watching. And then they got, greenlit to become a series on Cartoon Network. And then the other day I got, lost in the Ed, Edd and Eddy lore, trying to figure out who owned what because of a certain Cartoon Network bumper. And I was like, is this true? And I'm like, I couldn't find the answer. So I'm like, I think they took some liberties there. But yeah, they kind of had to compete with Nickelodeon, but I think Nickelodeon had more live action shows. Oh, the Wi-Fi is buggy. Oh, I see. No, I get it. You guys are doing stuff. But we're just trying to, keep the air alive. But yeah, it's the 30th anniversary of the Cartoon Network, and that's pretty cool. That they're still, doing its cartoon thing. That they're struggling. It's true. They're struggling. But, there's still some good animated shows coming out. Like, streaming, I think, has helped some certain studios. I need to know the name of the studio that does Castlevania, because boy, oh boy, they do adult animation so well. In terms of adult, like, it doesn't have to be raunchy. I feel like there's this, there are, like, adult woo stuff in Castlevania. Like, there's adult intimate scenes in Castlevania, but it was dramatic. It's a part of the plot. I have this idea that there's this heavy connotation around adult animation, that it has to be raunchy, that it has to be unhinged and lewd. And that's just not the case,
No, not at all.
It's nice to see a somewhat serious animated show. Like Castlevania, it can be not a tearjerker, but it can, like, get you in the heart. Like, if you watch certain scenes and you hear the voice acting and then you see what's on the screen and you're like, oh shit. It's really cool too, because, like, this is what we've been waiting for. Like, animation to be taken seriously, and it's still not. It's crazy how some people could just write it off as, oh, it's for kids. And I'm like, all right, I'll give you a scene, and you can still try to defend your idea that, is this for kids? If you don't like something, just say you don't like it, but did you try it? Did you try it? Don't knock it before you try it, type of thing.
Weirdly, it makes me think of, like, those moments in the newer cartoons where, like, they just introduce the same-sex couple. Like in
what do you mean? Yeah, like, do you have an example?
Like in Adventure Time, whenever what's her name, Marceline and Bubblegum just hooked up, and I was like, oh, what? Like I didn't even know that happened, and it was just like, wow, that's actually pretty cool.
When I was watching, I haven't caught up with Adventure Time, so I still need to finish the first season of it. But even in some of the earlier. Even in some of the earlier episodes, we saw Marceline and Bubblegum, like, butting heads a little bit. And so then I see that they, because a lot of people ship them together because of that, like, tension. I'm like, oh, I think they got some bad blood. And, like, they did have bad blood. Like, the lore for Adventure Time is crazy good. I'm really happy for that show. But I'll just say this. When the show was airing, I was not a fan. Because in my eyes, I don't know if this is the truth or not, but in my eyes, it took Flapjack away. Because once Adventure Time hit Cartoon Network, it basically took that time slot of Flapjack. And I'm all about Flapjack. But I understand that show is, like, niche in terms of the artistic style and what is actually shown in the show. I've heard from some people that it scared them. So I'm like, all right, Adventure Time is more generally popular. And good for them too. But
it scared me too.
But once I started watching Adventure Time, was like, okay, I see that you guys have something good here, and I am a fan of Adventure Time. But when it came out and they were hyping it up, and they had the live action guy saying, you know what time it is? It's Adventure Time! And I thought those commercials, looking back on it, were pretty cute. But man, I was not happy about it when it came out, because it took Not Adventure Time, it took Marvelous Misadventures of Flapjack away. It took Flapjack. So.
When Adventure Time first came out, my first impression was that, like, this is just totally random, and I really like it, because the animations and everything were just something I'd never really seen before. Like, yeah, I've seen cartoons and stuff, but just the way that was written down, and just how, like, the the magical land of Ooh, and I'm like, okay, that's weird. But I just
Mm-hmm.
it was just like straight up what your imagination could think of, and I'm like, I can vibe with that because like at some random point it's like, I'm Jake and I can stretch all over the place, and I'm like, what? A stretching dog? What? And then freaking a freaking dragon, or not even a dragon, like a freaking talking peppermint or cinnamon bun and stuff. I'm like, what is this? And it was just so random and like unhinged at a lot of times, and I'm like, okay. Like it was just like a straight up like fever dream, but like I was down for it, and
Yeah.
I was I was like I was like, I really like this, and then there was at some point that it lost me because there was just like something going on with like a story and stuff. I'm like, what? And then like there was some just awkward scenes, and I'm like, okay, I couldn't really deal with it, but at the same time, like I was just growing up, so like I wasn't watching Cartoon Network as much anymore, and I was more focused on like just playing games or YouTube and whatnot. And then like when I saw that stuff later on, just that random little skits, and I'm just like, oh wow, the story has gone really far and has developed pretty interestingly.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Flapjack back then, and like I did try to give the show a shot, but like Ghastly said, it did scare me too because it just those random scenes and whatnot, and just watching it like whenever you're about to sleep, and then like you just see something totally weird, and I'm just like, okay, I'm kind of iffed out. I can't sleep anymore. Like it definitely, I would say it's not for the faint of heart because of just how it can be. Because that show can, it, the best I can describe it is that like it's like this book that I used to read when I was like in second grade, and the book, it's a children's book, but it's huh,
Que ya hay tacos, mijo. Si quieres venir a comer.
tacos de qué?
De asada. Pasa tu mamá. Ya están hechos. Vente.
Ahorita.
Para que te los comas calientitos. ¿No quieres caliente tortilla más?
Unos poquito.
Ahora pues.
Okay.
I understand
Sorry.
a little bit of that.
Food.
Yeah, I know, but I know.
I should have been. Honestly, I should have been
asleep.
asleep like an hour ago, but like I'm having so much fun
no.
talking.
Oh, okay, that's good. Yeah, I don't. It's
So-
just Flapjack is really great, but yeah, what is this book? I almost want to say, was it the Stinky Cheese Man?
Maybe, but
Oh my gosh! Because I love that book.
all I can remember is that like it's a children's book, and you know how like children's books have like goofy art and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
This art was supposed to be goofy, but the way it looked to me looked almost like horror-ish.
Yeah, can you
Like
describe it? I want
horror-like.
to see if I can figure it out. But if you have to eat,
All
eat.
I can remember is that this chicken goes up to this kid and gives him like a plate that has a loaf of bread on it, but instead of eating the bread, the kid eats the chicken. Like just straight up eats it raw or alive, and the plate of bread is just there, but there's chicken feathers near it, which indicates that the kid ate the feather or ate the chicken. But it's just like the art style of it was just like it's supposed to be like blotchy stuff, but like it looked so like strange to me that like I just couldn't like it just unsettled me.
Do you remember what type of colors were used?
Basically like a lot of gray and red and dark colors.
Gray and red.
Very dark colors. There wasn't anything really like in the way they used the lighting and shading, they tried to make the dark colors like pop out and look soft, but it just made everything look like you're in the corner of like the dark recesses of your mind.
Okay. Interesting, because there's this the author of the Stinky Cheese Man did some other books that I thought was like a really great artistic style, but it is a little bit unnerving. So I was thinking like maybe it was something like that. But this sounds like another book, and I'm not sure if I'm familiar with it.
I think what also unsettled me was that like just along with those big faces were like just or those blotchy figures were like just angry faces on them. I think that's what also just unsettled me.
I'm thinking maybe it's. Is it this one?
I don't know. I can't see.
Did the chicken have glasses?
Maybe.
Okay, let me see if I can. I'm just gonna send you. A link that has an image. Oh wait, open image in new tab, and maybe I can share the URL with you and see if this is what you're thinking of. I'm thinking it might not be, but when you say, oh, it's a message, the text, I don't want a text message. Let me see. Maybe I'll just have to send you the link to it, and that has the image.
Yeah, that just might be easier.
Copy link address. Yeah, see if this art style is what freaked you out. Because I think about this, and I thought I owned this, because I knew I used to own it, but I'm not sure if I have it anymore.
Oh, Mawile. Yeah, I remember that Pokemon. Okay, let's look at this. Alright, the hell is that?
Is it a right link? I want to see what link I gave you. But yeah, was it this? I know it's not red, but it's a chicken. That's unnerving.
No, the chicken was just brown.
Okay.
But this is definitely along the style of it looking unsettling.
This was
Like
really
it all
good.
just. Ugh, it just looks weird to me.
Did anyone think that I Spy books were kind of creepy?
Yeah, that's it.
What do you mean?
It
Did
is
I
it.
find the book? I found the book! Yeah!
Yeah, it's the Stinky Cheese Man, and that's the end of it.
Yeah! Let's go!
Yeah, where he eats the chicken.
I like that book. I don't think a lot of other people
I didn't like it.
You didn't like? I like that book.
That shit fucking terrified me.
I read a lot of scary books growing up. I always read scary stories to tell in the dark. And some of the other kids and I would like race to get those books out, and we just like keep them out forever and be like, I have it. And then this was one of the other books that were like, yeah, it's crazy. And then the I Spy books, yeah. So I guess I had a little group of like friends that were just like, yeah, let's look at the spooky stuff at school. Yeah, I love this art style, the Stinky Cheese Man, and I think this our author might have done some other stuff. But yeah, it's the Stinky Cheese Man.
It's so weird.
Isn't that cool? Yeah, because
it's so weird.
When you said scary faces, I'm like, the Stinky Cheese Man has some pretty scary faces because I believe, because I'm looking at one right now it's the story of Jack and the Giant, Jack and the Beanstalk and the Giant looks scary, you know, like. These are scary faces.
Yeah, for real.
I'm so glad we figured it out together. I'm really happy about that. Yay.
Great, now I'm gonna have a nightmare.
Oh, you're welcome. Oh, you're about to go to sleep, too? I'm sorry. Think about Miss Lammy. Think about Miss Lammy.
Just cuddle a lamb.
Sweet nightmares. Yeah. Just fly away to better hopes and dreams.
Oh my god, speaking of lamb. Yeah, on Whisper's stream, she like got like a lamb doll or a lamb pillow. And she's like laying in bed and I'm just like, "Oh my god, I just got a screenshot of you sleeping with the lamb." I was like, I was trying to post that on the freaking Discord, but like it wouldn't let me like post. It wouldn't show the picture. It would just be like, here's a reality link. I'm like, no, just show the picture, you douchebag. Trying to do that early and it wouldn't let me. I'm like, maybe it's just because I'm at work. And then I get home and no, it didn't work either. I'm like, God damn it. So reality and Discord hates me.
Yeah, text seems to not like the turtle boy. Strange. It like doesn't like me, but I can kind of wrestle with it and make it submit or give it like good, vibes and make it like do its thing. But yeah, it seems like text just was like cerulean. And yeah, Whisper did a stream. I wasn't there to see it, but Cerulean said that Whisper did a stream.
Yeah, I'd collabed with her and I was trying to talk to her, but she just couldn't hear me for some reason. I'm like, that's great. So I'm just like yelling at nothing and looking like a freaking maniac, which isn't too different from how I work anyway.
Okay, well, I think I'm going to end the stream now. Thank you for joining me, Cerulean. It was really great to talk about all these things. I think we did a good job just kind of talking and filmed the air. I think it was really good. But yeah, I'm going to... Yeah, you're tired too. But yeah, I hope you get some good food and some good sleep. And bye, Rosie. Meow. Thank you for joining me for Caturday and talking to me, Rosie. Meow.
I'll send you the link of that YouTube channel for sure.
Cool, thank you. Yeah. Oh, and Cassie's gonna do a stream. I'll see if I can come by. Yasuro, thanks for coming by, but I'll be ending the stream for Caturday.
Remind me, I got my hand go through my head.
So until next time, farewell. Au revoir. Auf Wiedersehen, Janet. Ciao, adios, goodbye. Have a beautiful time, and we love you all.